Hello, everyone. We're here today with our SATLA members of the month for November 2023. We have Mr. Steve and Mr. Chris Arce. Guys, could you just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your law firm,
Yeah,
please?
I'm Chris Arce with the Law Office of Chris Arce. And this is my associate attorney and cousin, Stephen Arce.
Yes, I've been an associate here at the law office of Chris Arce for 2 years, and before I was practicing, or not practicing, doing immigration with
Okay.
Maldiv at one point, and came to Chris, and I'm like, I love PI, so been with him since I started law school until now.
Okay. And are you guys married, kids, a lot of hobbies?
I am married, my beautiful wife, Megan Arce, and I've got two children. My boy, Christopher, is 4 years old, and my baby girl, Ava, is 2.5 years old. I also have pet children. I have two
Okay.
dogs and a large 25-pound Maine Coon cat. It's a
Great.
full house.
I recently just got engaged in July.
Congrats.
Thank you. Valeria, she works with Oscar Garza, so she's an attorney too.
Okay.
So she knows the lifestyle, and we got two dogs.
Okay. Very good.
Yes.
Well, again, guys, I'm really happy that you decided to sit down and join us. And the reason that have been selected is because you guys are new SATLA members and you've expressed an interest in getting more involved in the organization. But can you just tell our membership why did you decide to join SATLA?
I'm actually an old new member. I believe I was a member back when I started practicing in 2012 to probably about 2018, 2019. During the COVID-19 pandemic, everything got kind of crazy. Courts, Zooms, all that craziness went on. I also had my firstborn at that time, and then my second one came 2 years after. So everything kind of got I ran out of free time, basically. So I actually made it a New Year's resolution this year in order to become more active in TTLA, SATLA, SALA, even though I may have aged out of SALA already. I still try to help and sponsor and send Steven out to those events. But yeah, I'm happy to be back as a member, and I look forward to being an active member.
Yeah, and I joined Salah mainly because, like I said, he was bugging me, but I just wanted to get more involved on the plaintiff side of the legal community because, I feel that everybody who's been there at Salah at every event I've been to has always been real involved in helping me with any issues I have on cases or just even talking to me and asking how it's going as a plaintiff's attorney.
Yeah, well, that's great, guys. And, it's been a while, it sounds like, since you've been too involved with the organization pre-COVID. And I'll tell you, a lot of organizations changed for the better during COVID, and I think we were one of them. SATLA has now, we've had added more events to our annual calendar, so we're doing more events than we did before COVID. And we've also increased our membership. We have almost 450 members, so you're hopefully see more people at the events, but also on the listserv, you're going to have, more options, more people to maybe answer your questions. So I wanted to ask a little bit about your philosophy on law, why you do this work. And so you mentioned that you do some family law, you had done some criminal law in the past as well. But, it sounds like we're really trying to focus on PI. We want to try to, get into that world and be with other plaintiffs' lawyers. So why have you chosen to do that work as compared to immigration or cryptocurrency or something different like that?
For me, personal injury, it holds a special place in my heart. Back when I was in high school, my mom was in a pretty bad accident, and she actually went to the attorney that I was working for, was my best friend's father at the time, and I was actually working as I was just the file room manager. I
Hmm.
was 16, 17 years old. And that's what really sparked my entire interest. When I first came out, I thought I wanted to be a prosecutor as I was clerking for the Harris County District Attorney's Office for my 2L and 3L year. Um, my very last semester of law school, I did the criminal defense clinic, and I've just had a complete change of heart. I realized that I felt like I was on the wrong side of things. So that's why I wanted to come out starting to practice criminal defense. The firm I was working for primarily did criminal defense, a little bit of family law, and wanted to get into the PI world, just wasn't quite sure or certain how to get there. So I picked up a few cases and started working them, and with the help of a lot of colleagues and a lot of hand holding and guidance, I was able to spark that passion for plaintiff side. And like you said, there's a lot of firms that want to be primarily plaintiffs attorneys, but cases, they're not just knocking on our door ready to sign
Right,
up for us.
right.
So uh, over the course of the last 11 years, we have what I like to say has perfected the, small motor vehicle accidents, and we're starting to get our feet wet into commercial litigation within the last 4 or 5 years. And 4 or 5 years, you would think, you're a pro now. I mean, that's still getting your feet wet. At that point, I feel like we've seen every gray area or every nuance that possibly can pop up in a regular first or third party claim on a motor vehicle. But in commercial, there's just so much. And that's one thing I do love about SATLA is having that network and that community of others, a roadblock that we may run into, we can go and just, tap our neighbor on the shoulder and say, hey, have you heard of something? Oh, yes, I had the case just like this 2 years ago.
Right.
You have to just do this, and that. Oh, fantastic. I'm losing sleep, going through the listserv, trying to figure out, trying to do the research. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. And that's one thing that I do love about TTLA and SATLA is that everyone is so willing to help. And that network, and it's almost like a brotherhood, almost
Right.
like you're part of the group, you're part of the crew, and everyone's fighting for the same cause. We're all after and protecting the Seventh Amendment, and we're fighting for the same thing. So that's one thing I love about it. I might have got a little off topic.
Oh, no, that was a great answer. If you have anything to
He went off. It was great.
add.
No, but honestly, I think Chris really sparked my interest for PI work because before I was doing immigration, and nothing's wrong with immigration law, great law, but just not my thing. My heart wasn't in it. And then I moved on to do consumer protection at the clinic at St. Mary's. Had a great experience doing contract work, things of that nature. But still, at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't like this too much. It's like, you want to come intern? Came to with Chris back in 2018
Okay.
and haven't left since. So,
Okay, right on. Well, you've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
So 2018, that's 5 years you've been at it. So I'm sure you've learned a lot. I'd like to ask all of our members of the month this because it's one of the things that it's I think really the essence of SATLA, and it's about collaboration. And so I just was curious, have you had any examples where you collaborated with another SATLA member, and if not a SATLA member, just another personal injury lawyer on a case, and that collaboration working together allowed you to get a good result in a case. So do you have any examples of something like that?
Yeah, I believe we've got a couple of cases with Chris Mazzola. He's with the Patterson Law Group. We've got a couple cases with him. Um, George Salinas, we've had a couple cases. So that one, uh, a dog bite case. I know nothing about dog bite cases, and I straight told him, "Hey, do you do dog bite cases?" He said, "Yes, I do." And I said, "Would you be willing to teach me?"
Right.
We get them all the time, and we end up sending them out. And
Right.
this one was actually our legal assistant's aunt who got bit by the dog. So she needed special handling, special care. We took the case in. George agreed to take the case with us. We've been working it since. So yeah, taking special care of her, not only because we would normally take care of any client,
Right.
but especially because this is one of our own.
Yeah.
This is our legal assistant's family.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah. Well, that's a really interesting example, and it's almost an example too of where your firm, but also through Satla's help, we're providing legal services to someone who may not have been able to get them otherwise.
Exactly.
Okay, and so if they would have called you in the first place and you didn't know anyone who
Yeah.
could help you with the dog bite, you would have said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I can't help you,"
exactly.
and that person maybe never would have been able to bring your claim. So that's a very great example. Another thing that I think is very rewarding when you're doing personal injury work is, if you get a result in a case that maybe was unexpected, you get a result in a case that the defense lawyers told you could never get that result, or you get a result that may, change the law, right? Back in the past, there was a lot of Ford, Explorer rollover cases, a lot of product defect litigation, and now the Ford Explorer is a more safe vehicle because of that. And so I just wanted to ask both of you, really, are there any examples or just success stories from a case that you said, man, that really made me feel good to be a personal injury lawyer today?
Yeah. I think more so I want to talk like kind of answering the last question as well with this one.
Certainly.
Because like we had a case, I was telling Chris about it previously. We had an Austin client who was rear-ended by a man who just committed his fourth DWI, right, which becomes an automatic felony. And when we had talked about it with the insurance, they are denying liability based off of it being his fourth, and they're saying, "Oh, we can't cover him now." Well, specifically, I talked to Damon Garza, who had walked me through it and saying, well, if they insured him knowing he had three, why are they not insuring him now that he committed his fourth? And that was a good success story in there, fighting with the insurance,
Yeah.
trying to get a good result with our client and finally having them accept liability.
Right.
So now we're trying to negotiate and have our clients finish treatment. But for, Damon or someone else who knew what I was kind of going through before with this matter, I don't think we would have, been able to solve it. I didn't reach out to his friends yet, but I was like,
Yeah.
let me try first
Yeah.
on my end, and then I was
Okay.
like, let me go to Chris
Yeah.
once I do.
And that's
Wow,
one
that's
thing
great.
I love about Steven is he will exhaust all means prior to coming with me. He's like, I can figure this out on myself.
Yeah.
I can use my network of friends rather than coming to Chris and running to me asking for guidance or that's one thing, that's one of Steven's very special qualities and traits is that he's very resourceful.
Right on.
Now going back to it, I did want to mention there was a case that we wrapped up not too long ago. We were in mediation. It was a commercial case. And our clients were pretty happy with the number already. We were looking forward to putting a nice pretty bow on it and calling it a day. And then I decided to go ahead and ask for punitive damages. And the mediator, he stopped. He's like, well, wait a minute, that's going to throw everything off. And I said, listen, I don't care. I think the company needs to be held responsible for this incident occurring. He went back and a nice amount for both clients, directly paid from the company, not through the insurance, a direct punitive damage directly from the company to our clients in our client's name. So really happy about that one. But I had bounced that idea off of a couple of other SATLA members.
Right.
And they said, hey, why not try it? I didn't want to spoil the entire thing
Right.
or throw away the entire day of mediation. But,
Right.
I said, you know what? It's not going to hurt to ask. Let's see what happens. And,
Yeah.
I was confident when I asked for it and, stuck to my guns and we were able to get it. And client, already happy with the numbers, got a nice figure additional on top, and both of them were extremely happy.
Wow. Well, that's a really amazing story. It is rare, indeed, to get the defendants to pay money out of their own pockets as opposed to their insurance carriers paying. So, congratulations on that, guys. And so, as I wrap it up here, I just want to again thank you, right, on behalf of the San Antonio Trial Lawyers Board and Executive Committee for joining SATLA. We hope to see you guys at our next monthly CLE luncheon. We hope to see you at our installation event. That's going to be our big event in January. And so, again, thanks for joining us. And please reach out to me or any of the other SATLA members or board members if you have any questions. Okay?
All right, perfect.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.